and I have studied on my own how Scrum works, how Kanban works, and as a result, I got my first offer as a Scrum Master at Siberian IT company Movavi. Why Siberian? Because I lived in Novosibirsk at this time. In a year and a half, I decided to move from Novosibirsk and got an offer from St. Petersburg international company Semrush. At this time, Semrush has offices in Praga, in America, in Boston, and on Cyprus. Well, I worked there before the relocation, and I would like to say an important clarification. Now I mostly communicate in English with my colleagues, but I didn't have a job interview in English. And if someone would like to ask me something about job interview, I cannot answer. Yeah, and two important things. I have PSM and KMP certificates. It's something about my professional skills. Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I think we can hear you very well. So yeah, you were right. The first question was about recruiting process in foreign companies. What do they usually ask at the interviews? But maybe when you were thinking about relocation or maybe about working abroad, you tried to search some information about that. Or maybe now you have experience about job interviews, I mean, your colleagues or coworkers.
Yeah, of course. I would like to say that I think it's a really good way to understand how can you get a job in a foreign company. Starts from IT company from Russia who work together with European colleagues. It's my way. I started work with Russian people, but now I have a lot of colleagues from different European countries, from Netherlands, from Cyprus, from London, from Prague, Czech Republic, and it's a good experience. And now I understand how can I communicate with foreign colleagues, and it's a good way to get a new job in foreign company and get an interview in English.
Okay, so you named mainly European countries right now, about Czech Republic or Cyprus. Did you always know that you would like to relocate to Europe, or what was the process of the relocation with you?
No, I have never thinking about it, but when I worked at Semrush, my husband and I got offers from Semrush to Berlin and Barcelona for relocation when our company decided to close their office in St. Petersburg. And after that, we start to thinking what country, Germany or Spain, we would like to move to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what about everyone else? Please, has anyone relocated and where? Dmitry, what about you? I see that your background has changed a little bit. What about you? Yeah.
I'm yes, I was relocated, if I can name it's such a way. Now I'm in Tashkent, but I don't have any job here. I continue work from a Russian company. I work remotely, and so I just here. So I didn't relocate. I just I'm just sitting here.
Okay, you are just having your time.
Yes.
Okay. And maybe any plans about relocation to Europe? Dmitry, I'm asking Dmitry or everybody else. Yeah.
I find out that companies, if I'm not mistaken, consider like for a job, consider English level of B2 at least B2. So yeah, currently it's pretty hard to get any response from anyone from any like position. I applied a lot of position, but I haven't any response at this time.
So far.
So far, yes. So I don't know, and also I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a question. I have heard that to retrieve maybe a visa to Germany or any other country, you need to apply for this visa from your country of residence or something like that. Does it work for work visa too, or you can like have it without visiting Russia?
Well, yes. My husband got a job visa here. If we decided to go to Barcelona and I continue to work in SEMrush, I would have the same job visa too. But we decide to go to Berlin, and I decided to get a new job, and now in Berlin I'm like a wife. I have a family visa. But good news for me that I have a possibility to work like self-employed person there, but of course it's so long time for getting this status, 2-3 months for this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think, Dmitry, I wanted to share my idea about the level of English, because I have a student, but it's not, it's my old friend, yeah, and he was my student long time ago. And he relocated with his wife to Mexico because his wife worked and still works at EPAM company. And he works as a quality assurance engineer, but not for EPAM, but for some other Russian company. He relocated with his wife to Mexico, and EPAM supported them during their relocation. And last week he received a job offer, but his level of English is, I think, A2 maybe, or B1, but I'm not sure about it. So he told me that as it was a company run by Russians, Mexicans, and Americans, he managed to receive the job offer. So the language is not like the highest priority sometimes when we speak about the experts. Yeah, Anna, and what do you think? Well, maybe considering your coworkers or some Russian people who relocated or who work in the same company or in other companies, is the English language or any other language, if you're working in Germany, is the highest priority?
No, I agree with you 100%. Really, English is not a big problem for two reasons. At first, because a lot of people in Europe are not native English speakers too, and they really don't know a lot of things like you. And the second reason that maybe it's my experience, but foreign people are very, very kind, very. They really would like to help you with your language if you have some worries, and they will translate to Russian sometimes. They will do a lot of things for understand each other better. The most, I think it's a really good way to have a interview in Russian. Now I know that now there are a lot of companies who can interview in Russian, but at the same time you will work with European colleagues, and I think it's a really good way to start. Maybe the first time it will be a remote working, but after that, maybe a half of year, we will have a good experience for getting job offer from really foreign companies with relocation programs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. And I think another good start is taking a course from the cross language school. Yeah, we have job interviews course, or English for tech people, or English for project management, and so on. So you can select any course that you want to get prepared for the job interview or for the work itself.
Yeah, and I would like to add that, of course, it's not so easy. I have a lot of English studies, a lot of English lessons right now in different schools, and my own study. Well, 2 months ago, my English was no, of course, now I have a lot of problems with English, but 2 months ago it was more problems there. Yeah. Good progress when you have a lot of practice. It's easy.
Yeah, but I think all the students who graduate our courses have really good English, although maybe you can underestimate your level of English, but your level of English is really good. So congratulations with that. And do you plan to start learning German, or English is enough for communication?
It's a good question. Well, now we are stay in Berlin, and here English is a lot of people speak English there. It's not a problem. Then you don't know German. Oh, Germany. Okay. Germany, yeah. But if we would like to go to München, for example, or Hamburg or another Germany cities, I know that there are more people don't speak English because in Berlin there are a lot of foreign people, and I think I don't feel myself in I don't feel that I am in Germany. I feel that I am in some big city all over the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And we have a question from Anna, and it is related to interviews. Yeah, Anna pays attention to soft skills. Yeah, international companies pay more attention to soft skills, as far as I know, and practice case interviews or solving problems interviews. Can you comment on that, or maybe anyone else would like to comment on this question?
I'd like to agree. It's really important when you communicate with foreign colleagues. They really have a. It's really important for them to have a good. When you smile, when you have a good when you positive emotions, it's a really
Good
important things.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
true.
Galina, I think you wanted to add something.
Hello. I'm sure it depends on basic soft skills in Russian, and maybe it depends on position, because for product owner, English is important and it's mandatory, I think. But for maybe middle developer who is reading of documentation and speaking with senior or team lead, it's not important, and maybe started level it's good enough.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I agree with Galina. Then extremely important to have a good English for people who communicate with customers.
Yes.
It's of course, yeah.
And what about the education? I think Galina has raised a really interesting question. Yeah, speaking about education. So in Russia, people who work in IT industry sometimes don't have education. They, I don't know, educated themselves. Yeah, they are skilled. They're just skilled professionals. And education doesn't play a great role when you pass a job interview in Russia. But what about your German or European colleagues? Do they have some specific education, or how do they obtain their skills?
What is
Well,
obtainal?
Excuse me?
What is obtainal?
Obtain, получают, receive, or get. How they become skilled professionals.
Okay.
unfortunately, I'm not sure about my European colleagues, what education do they have, but I really, I'm sure then when you relocate to Germany, it's necessary to have a education, higher education, but if your higher education is not from IT sphere, you can get a super talent or something like that visa for high level professionals, and in this case you will you can have different education. It's not necessary for getting this visa. You should have an experience and a developer experience more than 5 years, maybe more, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, any other questions? And again, we have a message from Anna in our chat. If you work in IT, usually you have regular communication with your colleagues in a team and with the customers. Yeah, and especially when you have to communicate with your colleagues, your co-workers anyway, every day. Well, when in our course English for Job Interviews, we discuss how to sound more polite. Usually, we see that great difference between Russian and international approach, and some students get really surprised that you need to soften your speech. You need to always encourage yourself to be more polite or extremely super polite. And I think this is somehow related to soft skills. And I always say that sometimes people who work in European or American companies, especially American companies, say that their Russian coworkers are too direct. Yeah. What can anyone comment on that? Or Anna, maybe you can comment on that. Do we really sound that direct, and why?
It's really this is true, and my European colleagues have some jokes about this, something like, "Oh, these Russians, okay, they understand it." Well, sometimes it's really hard to when you have a group call with Russians and Netherlands, for example, colleagues, you can see the difference because Russian colleague can say no. Netherlands colleagues will say, I'm not sure, but maybe we can have another decision, something like that. It's a really, but when you work together, you can get an experience from each other, and people from Netherlands, or I would like to say Netherlands because I have a lot of colleagues from there, from here, and from this country. Now I have a habit to make mistakes, and after that take a good right forms. Yeah, well, they can be more directly sometimes, and Russian people can be more polite, and you have a balance at your team.
Yeah, why not? Any other comments or questions maybe about life in Germany or about the relocation process?
I have a question. My name is Tara. So hi again. I was late a little bit, and I have a question. Maybe somebody have asked already about is it hard to find a job but remotely and don't relocate to Germany?
Sorry, I'm not sure then I understand the question. To find a remote job and?
Yeah. So there are two types. You should relocate or you can work remotely but from other country. So is it possible to find position but not relocate to Germany? Because as you know, the expenses for life are much more higher, and maybe it's no reason to relocate because it's like plus minus the same money for savings at the end of the month.
Of course, yes, you can find remote work in different countries. It's now I have some problems with remote working in Germany because I will have a self-employed status, but I should pay taxes in Germany, and if I will have how to say it in English, if I so it's so difficult to get a self-employed status in Germany. It's better to be employed to Germany company. But if you live in Cyprus, in I don't know, Kazakhstan, somewhere else, it's and you have self-employed status in this country, it's not a problem to work with Germany.
So majority of cases that I applied for a job in LinkedIn was a question: do you have permission to work in European Union? So if I have a legal entity like an individual entrepreneur in Georgia, so I can say yes, but I don't have permission to work in the European Union, but I can work with them like a B2B. So.
In my experience, yes. Maybe something changed right now, but of course now it's a problem to work from Russia because it's difficult to with payments. But with Georgia, like I know, it's not a problem.
So I got your point. But about taxes, maybe you will clarify this question. Maybe it's not profitable for the company hire people who are not European Union person. Do you know about that?
Well, I'm not sure, but the most 1 second. So I know then if you can pay your taxes by yourself, for company it's not a problem. So if they should pay your taxes, of course it's a problem. If you can, for example, I will pay all taxes by myself. My company will not pay anything in Germany, and it's okay for them. If I will not self-employer and they will pay some taxes from by me in Germany, of course it will be not so good for them, and they will
less motivated to hire you.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes they require that you can work remotely, but you have to live in Germany. So, why there is such requirements? Maybe you have some ideas about that.
I'm not sure that I understand the question again. Sorry. Why they work with me?
No. So, for example, they mentioned that you can work remotely, but they also mentioned that you can work remotely, but you should locate it in Germany. Why? Because you work remotely, what is the point that you have to be in Germany?
Okay. Well, I understand. Because my husband work in Germany, and in his case, they need to be in Germany because they have an office in Berlin, and their company will pay taxes to them in Germany, in Berlin, and this is the reason why we cannot be digital nomad, for example. No, we cannot do it. If my husband will be self-employed too, of course we can do it.
So there is some connection with law, so it's forbidden to be abroad because it's about like a not a legal entity, like a residence, taxes residence, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. And I have a question about the visa. You said that you have a visa as a family member, right?
Yeah.
And what is the due time? What is the expiration time of the visa? What is the duration time of this visa, of this type of visa? And what other types of visa can a person get to work in Germany or in some other European country?
Well, we have my husband has a job visa for a half of year. I have a family visa for the same time, and now we are in process getting how do you say it in English? VNG time. Sorry, I cannot hear you, Nadia.
Yeah, it's not a permanent residence, but it's a temporary residence, right?
Yeah, thank you. Temporary residence, yeah. We have visa until the end of this year. Yeah. I know then in different countries, job visa have the same period and a half of a year, something like that. Sometimes 3 months, 4 months.
Any other questions? Timofey, or maybe Alexei, Galina, yeah, go ahead.
How time you spend to a relocation process?
It's a good question. We start to how to say it in English, we start so our documents we start the process working with documents until in April, from April this year. It's a it's interesting moment that we get married in June for getting job visas, family visas together. Yeah, and we got our visas in July. So April, May, July, June, 3 or 4 months for this process. Yeah.
And I know.
It's about 6 months after offer. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And your husband have found the job remotely?
No, we have another case. We worked at this company in Russian office of this company before they decide to relocate all employees. Yeah.
Oh, great. I have read the article about the real examples that it's much more simple to find a job when you located in Germany than to find it remotely. Is it true? Maybe no.
Of course, yes, but there is a problem. How can you get a visa for being in Germany for a long time? If you have a now it's really a problem. Of course, before you can be there 3 months, and it's a good time for finding job offer. But if you are in Georgia right now, and I know cases when people start to interview remotely, but for the last stage of interview, they came to Germany and getting offer to be in office in this time.
Yeah, I also have experience in interviews employees from Germany, and they even said that they have 3 or 4 corporate flats that they can invite you for some period of time, like 2 months, that you will communicate closely with the team, and then you can go remotely whatever place that you wanna. But yeah. you mentioned that 3 months it's enough to find the job for now, because I have read the article that there is a lack of employees in general, so not so much people, like this generation, not so much people, it's a lack of employees in Germany now.
Maybe experience of my friends and colleagues are about early time, about time before these days, and now something changed. So I don't know. And maybe my friends are lucky persons.
Yeah, I think, Tatiana, maybe you could hear my story that my friend got a job offer with the level of English of A2 or B1, but the thing is that his wife relocated to Mexico and she speaks Spanish, so he easily found a job as a QA engineer. If you want, I can ask him. Maybe he can join our webinars one day to share his experience. Yeah, so I wanted to say that it depends on, I don't know, on a company, on a country, on a person, even maybe on a HR expert, on a recruiter, yeah, whatever. But if we are speaking about European countries, some people told me that if you want to relocate to European countries, to Australia or to the United States, maybe, then you need to explain when you apply for a visa, you need to explain why you plan to come back to Russia, yeah? And you have to support it somehow, like, was it the same with you or not? Did you have to persuade the the person where you applied for a visa that you have a intention to come back one day?
Well, no, maybe because we I don't know. We had a contract for 1 year. My husband had a contract, and now I think yes, we are lucky persons because we had a provider who helps us. If you relocate with the company, of course, you have people who can helps you for getting visa, and some questions they will answer before before you. Yeah, it's true.
I believe maybe I know the cases, but it's more about Poland. There are some companies who can invite you, like not accelerators, so like incubators that can create an invitation for work, for visa work, and you can be there like a couple of months. Maybe there is some companies that you can invite also, but I didn't research this point. But it's a good business in general, yeah, because they take money for that. Maybe the same thing exists also in Germany.
There are a lot of good business around the relocation right now. A lot of people who can help you different ways, but of course you need to pay money for this.
True, because it's much more easy to find a job when you're located, because in that case. And what about attitude to Russian, Belarus people in Germany now? Is it has much influence on that? Because before I know that it was a good attitude, like it's okay to relocate people to their country. What about now?
Now, if you are in Russia, you can have some problems with relocation. If you are in any different country, but you have Russian nationality, it's not a problem. I know this. Maybe my experience is not relevant for everyone. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was set up like a Georgia in my LinkedIn profile. That is maybe better than in other countries, but the quantity of answers the same. Really, it's very hard.
I have a little life hack about this. My friends type in field country in LinkedIn Germany, and after start interview, they explain why they are not in Germany right now, but they really would like to be there, and it's a reason for type Germany in LinkedIn, and HR managers understand about this, and if you can explain it, you can do it. It's not a problem. If you will not in Germany, but your LinkedIn profile will be searching people who would like to have employers to Germany. Yeah.
Thank you. But also know that you should fill in the telephone number. I mean, when you send CV, and they can ask you for German number.
In CV, of course. I would like to say that you can. It helps to people from Germany to find your profile.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, you can explain everything if you want.
Yeah, thank you for the useful tip.
Thank you. And I want to summarize a little bit. So anyway, it's better first to come to Europe and then to search for a job, right? Or not?
In my experience, it's not. In my experience, if now world is changed and is changing, and a lot of people are living in different countries, and remote job offers is not a problem. But maybe it's just my experience, and I'm not sure about it.
Or it's better to relocate to some other country, and from there you can search for a job and then to explain, yeah, what is going on in your life. And what about the Russian community? Did you find some people who speak Russian, who share your interests, or is it not the same as in, for example, Latin American countries where people from Russia tend to unite into some communities? They try to find Russians. What about Germany?
In my opinion, there are different communities of Russian people. Every day at the street in Berlin, I hear Russian language, Russian speakers. It's true. Here, many people from Russia, from Ukraine, from Belarus are living here. It's true. But I think it's very different people, and people who came here in the end of 20th century, it's one community. IT specialist, it's another community. Some people, maybe journalists, maybe artists, it's another community. So not just language, more sphere, more interest, something like that.
Okay, thank you. And what are the advantages and disadvantages so far that you've seen working in Europe or in Germany in particular? Like, what do you like? What maybe you don't like? What is different from Russia 100%? What is maybe the same?
A lot of things are slowly than in Russia. I'm from St. Petersburg and Novosibirsk, and it's really slowly for me. People from Moscow are getting fired. What? Why? Why so slowly? Yeah, and it's a bad news. Then in Germany, in Berlin, in this country, a lot of trash on the streets. I'm really disappointed about it. I'm really disappointed. It's awful sometimes. You walk on the street, on the beautiful park, but a lot of trash and a lot of graffiti. Not beautiful graffiti, but ugly graffiti around. It's not so nice in Berlin. Yeah. At the same time, Berlin is a really interesting city with big history. You can feel it at every street. West Berlin, East Berlin, it's a big difference between. There are a lot of Soviet parks, Soviet like Treptov Park. I felt like in any Russian city when I was there. So yes.
Okay, and if you're not that tired so far, we have a question in our chat. Anna, what is your PSM level? Is it difficult to pass the exam, and do you have any recommendations on how to prepare for exams? Dankeschön.
Well, I have PSM 1, PSM first. It was interesting experience because I got this certificate when I was so it was maybe in the end of February. So we were last Russian people who got these certificates. It was really nervous for us because we didn't know can we get it or not, and well, a good decision to get a video course from Scrum Track with questions from the PSM exam, and at the Scrum.org website you can use how to say a lot of free tests with questions from PSM, and this is the same questions really, and a good advice to forget real practice. Think just about theory, because questions are from theory. In practice, everything changed, everything goes another, and when you work Scrum Master for a long time, you forgot some classical Scrum, something like that. But it's really questions about true Scrum, where in ideal world sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tatiana has also just shared the link, the udemy.com link, course for preparation to PSM1. Please pay your attention to this.
You like it, because I'm trying to be prepared for this course, but this price is with discount, so around $12. So one attempt is 150, and you should pass more than 85%. So it's better to be well prepared. So, and in practice, is it helpful? Because I know that for Russian markets, they're more focused on practice, like the same in for Belarus, and majority of people that have this certificate, that it is useless. But what I know that for foreigners, it's important that you have a paper that approve your knowledge. So did they ask you often in interview, do you have some certificates?
Yeah, it's really important in Europe, maybe because you are from Russia, and nobody in Russia you can say I was studying MGU, and everyone know what does it mean. Not many universities from Russia can be like MGU in Europe, and when you when you tell people then you have PSM, they understand what does it mean. So not because it's something very very good, but it's really about understand what you can do. So yeah,
it's value for money. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have one more question. It's about expenses. So if we compare St. Petersburg and Berlin, salaries and costs. So is it double price and double salary, or no? So
not so. Of course, it's more expensive, but not double price. Maybe. Well, if we talk about some cafes, some restaurants, maybe double price sometimes. But there are a lot of street food, and it's the same price. And if we talk about supermarkets, I think a little expensive, not so big difference.
And about salary?
Sorry, what?
About salary, I mean that it's
yeah, I understand. Yes, it's a good point, because you have a big salary, but you have big taxes, and I'm not sure what's better. We will realize it after 1 year living here, because right now I cannot compare this. We didn't pay taxes in Germany before.
So in general, it means that for savings, the sum of money is the same for St. Petersburg. Like at the end of the month, it's the same percentage for saving, yeah? Because much more salary.
Well, so so difficult to say too, because when you relocate, your life is really changed. For example, in Russia, I always had a tennis. I always played tennis, and it was a part of my budget every month. Here, right now I do not do this, and I think we will. When we will have the same habits like in Russia, we can compare. Right now, I cannot answer to this question truly.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, if we're talking about the prices and taxes, do people say anything about the rise? Is there a significant rise in prices if we compare the beginning of the year and, for example, today?
It's an interesting moment for me because a lot of people tell me we will see it in the end of the year, because they not pay for energy, for water every month. They paid and in the end of the year, and they say yes, we have some I forgot the word, тревожность, some worries about it, but yeah, but now they cannot be sure about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And maybe we have time for anxiety, тревожность, anxiety in a bad way, feeling of something bad is going to happen. Okay, and maybe we have time for one more question. Yes, please. No more questions. Everything is clear. And Anna, then I have a question to you. And how do you and your husband see the future of the IT industry in Russia?
Well, it's a good question. Some days ago, I saw a meme where was right, our planning horizon is 10 minutes. I think it's about all of us right now and about IT sphere in Russia too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you, and I think everyone else who paid their time to be a part of our webinar today think more or less the same, that we only have to plan something for another 10 minutes in our life. But anyway, yeah, we still can hope for the best and that everything turns out well. Anna, thank you very much for having your time, for your efforts to be here with us today and answering all these questions, including some tricky questions, Anna, yes. And I wish you good luck. Yeah, and I hope we can see each other one day, and you can share your further experience in Germany. And I hope that everything goes well.
Thank you very much. It was a great experience for me. Thank you for your questions.